All right, last video of the day. So, guys, can I have your attention in the back? So the condition we have here is kind of interesting, right? We have a second floor, but we also have an exterior roof, and they happen to be coincident. So when we look at the building itself, let's cut into section 2A 4.01. That is not 4.01. This is. All right, so this is 2A 4.01. Along level 2, you see the interior floor here, right? And that carries across through the interior spaces. And then it transitions directly to exterior. So theoretically, from a BIM perspective, we can model this the same way, assuming it's framed out of the same elements. So especially at this stage, since we're just doing a schematic model, what I'm going to do is model that second floor, interior and exterior, as one contiguous diaphragm. So let's do that real fast. We're in the second floor level. I'm just going to grab a floor assembly. And at this stage, we're going to do generic 12-inch. And then just trace the inside. This is probably, I haven't looked at the wall section that detailed. Is it balloon framed or platform framed? Let me check something in the wall sections. We'll talk about balloon framing and platform framing a little bit, but just want to see what I'm working with. I can't tell from the sections. Well, all right, so he modeled his Revit model balloon framed, so we'll do it balloon framed. The difference between balloon framing and platform framing is, well, actually, let me pull it up on here so that you guys can probably just see a much better diagram than I could sketch in 2 seconds. Perfect. Got some good diagrams here. Here's a, that's not very large. There we go, that's really good. So the difference between platform framing and balloon framing. Platform framing is a lot like constructing a layer, like a layered cake, where basically each plate is kind of set on bearing walls. So that's what you see here. The wall, the exterior wall here stops at the top of the top plate, and then that whole pancake of the second floor sits on top of that, and then the next floor's walls gets framed on top of that. The difference between that and balloon framing is that balloon framing has a single stud or splice studs that go all the way up the length of the wall, and then it has a ledger attached to the inside face of that wall, and the joists sit on top of that ledger and frame into those continuous studs that go all the way up. For residential, the platform framing, for most like single-family residential, I should say, platform framing is much more common. So just giving you a heads up on that. So we're actually going to model it closer to platform framing, I think. So let's model it to the exterior face of the wall. And when we do like thickness of materials and stuff, you'll see how it gets hidden. So we're going to, oh, that's actually not the right spot to start. I'm going to start here and go around the exterior face, like so. Actually, that should go to there. I forget which wall it is. I can correct this later. This is getting messy, but. Okay. So once you do all of that, you don't have any slopes in this because it's a floor plate. Just hit check, hit no, and you're going to notice that that platform actually shows around the perimeter of the building, but it does 2 things for you. Because this is a continuous diaphragm, it encloses the envelope of the building here on the exterior roof assembly, and it encloses underneath the floor on the exterior floor assembly. So that's our goal with that floor plate, is to just create that continuous diaphragm. And when we start getting into like detailing and assemblies, we'll discover whether or not we have to modify it and make it 2 separate elements. Okay, is that clear?
Sounds good, Kevin.
All right, excellent. So just real quick, I want to show you something. If you guys ever need to see it in a 3D view and compare it to something like our 3D view in our drawing set, go to the View tab, go to the 3D view, camera view. Sorry, let me go to the first floor view. It's going to be better this way. So I'm going to go to 3D, click on the downward arrow, go to camera, and if you place it sort of outside of the building and pull these little view markers around the building like that, you're going to get into a 3D view, a perspective view, I should say. So now when it comes to massing, our building looks like this. The building itself looks like that. So when you compare the two, they should look somewhat similar. That looks like we're heading the right direction, right? Roughly?
Looks good, Kevin.
Thanks. Yours looks good too.
Oh, thanks, Kevin. You haven't seen it, but thanks.
I have seen it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any questions? All right, this is our goal. We need to get to this level before we get to class on Thursday.